Hi YouTube, what's up? Let's jump right into it. How to prepare for difficult times in 2024. Now, we are at the end of August. September is coming, although the weather is still warm. Y'all know it can change in a heartbeat. And eventually winter is going to come, and with the changing of seasons, there is always new challenges to face. So before they get here, I thought it would be a really good idea to share some tips and strategies that I've done over the years to help prepare myself and my small family for things that come up. Okay? So you guys bear with me. I try to stay on track, so I have my notes, so I'll be looking down. So as I said, the challenges we face, and it can be different for different people. If you live in a warm climate, then you don't have to prepare for 18 inches of snow, and vice versa. If you live in a climate where it's only cold, you don't have to worry too much about staying away from the heat, right? So it just depends on where you live, your certain personal circumstances, like do you have elderly people that live with you? Are you on any kind of medication that you really need to take and keep in the house? Do you have pets? Stuff like that. So, you just think, what do you do daily and weekly? And what are the things that you use um, that make you comfortable and things that you need? So, like, they'll tell you on the news, or FEMA will say prepare for 3 days. That's good, but maybe you should prepare for a week. And maybe where you're at right now, all you could do is prepare for 1 day. Start where you're at. Start where you're at. I realize things are more expensive now and it's harder to save, but do what you can do right now, because let's put it like this: if you don't need it, you got extra stuff. But if you do, you will have prepared now so that you'll have these things in the future when you need it. As I said, start where you are, but make your goal to be for as long as possible, like 6 months or a year worth of stuff. Let's see. Some of the things that that I know that I have to get. I live in the South, and we have both hot summers and cold winters. So I need to prepare for both kind of climates. I remember one year we had a derecho, and it like came out of nowhere. It was super duper hot. And then all of a sudden it's like this storm came, wind, craziness, and it messed up a lot of things, uprooted trees and everything out of the blue. It was in the summertime. The power got knocked out. We didn't have any power where I live for like 2 weeks. Oh my God, it was so hot and unbearable and miserable. And this is when I didn't prepare. This is what woke me up, and that's when I started to prepare. So because of that particular situation, I wanted to get stuff like generators, stuff like that. There's many kind of generators. You got to do your research. I wanted solar power stuff, solar power lights. That way you don't have to depend too much on battery operated stuff, or like my the telephone pole in front of my house, the light went out. It's been out forever, and I keep forgetting to call whoever. But it doesn't matter because I have my own lights, solar powered. So that's something that you might want to invest in. Get some different solar powered lights. You can get them really cheap on Amazon, Temu, where have you. Um, let's see, candles. Old school candles are good, but I use the LED candles anymore because they're safer. And as I said, you can get like those little lights that they have at Walmart that they used to be like 97 cents. They're probably like $1.20 now. You stick them. It comes with a little stick holder or whatever. You stick them in the ground, put them outside. You don't even need the stick part. But if you want to, you can. But I take those little bad boys and I put them in my window during the daytime, and at night I just set them throughout the house like little night lights or whatever. And a little bit of light like that when the power is out is priceless. Also, something that I've used, now this is providing that you have like some kind of generator or something that you can charge your little small things like your phone or your laptop or whatever. You can get you something that is low light, that doesn't take a lot of voltage, like Christmas lights, a string of Christmas lights. When it's pitch black, a string of Christmas lights could uh, light up the room, and it also has a nice little ambiance where it's nice and calming. I've done that plenty of times. Um, let's see. What you really need to do is have a plan, right? And as I said, assess what you need personally, whether you have pets, older people, disabled people, do you have to take medicine? These are things that you should know that you need to have. An assessment on food, for instance. You want to plan like, okay, I need breakfast, lunch, and dinner for, let's do a week, right? So you buy yourself something, and this is depending on what you eat. I just wrote like a brief example. So for a week, you can get like a big thing of oats, dried oats. Whatever kind of sweetener you use, whether that be sugar. I use agave, so always have agave on hand. Whatever kind of milk you use, I use nut milks, almond milk, and stuff. And it's pretty cool because they come in these like the same kind of containers like the milk containers do at the store, but it doesn't have to be on the before it's opened. Of course, you could leave it on the counter. So as opposed to like canned milk or something like that in a can, you can have milk or whatever for your cereal. You can have some dried nuts and some dried fruit to put in your oatmeal. Get you some little juice packs of orange juice or what have you. Or like I said, however, that's oatmeal. That's breakfast for like a week. And switch it up if you want to. But I'm saying just for a rough start, you could do like stock up on some soups and raviolis, and like I said, whatever you eat, little stuff that's not expensive, and things that are actually that doesn't take a lot to cook. Like if necessary, you could just open up the can and eat it like that. Make sure you have can openers. Make sure you have utensils and plastic plates and all that other stuff. Whatever you think that you may need in a week's time. You also, now aside from batteries and food and water and necessities like that, you also need to remember your state of mind. I told you about that time that we had the derecho. Now, it was just me and Sissy here, and although I got neighbors, and my other daughter came. She didn't live too far away, but just being here at the time. Now, in the winter time, it was a different story, and this was before I had got prepared. It was so cold, and there was so much snow. I mean, like, there's like about 8 steps up to my front porch, and there was snow up to my front door. Like, it was a good 2 feet of snow. It was insane. And I mean, I loved it because I didn't have to go out, but then, the power went out. It got serious. At the time, I had some cats. I had my doggy and me and sis, and we had blankets, we had food. I mean, normal stuff like that. I didn't anticipate it being too long. But I won't lie, I was scared, and it started getting cold, and I had one of those little buddies. Is that what they call it? A little buddy? A little portable thing where you could, the heater. Maybe it's a big buddy. Anyway, you put the propane canisters in, and it would warm the immediate area, but it was cold, and I was sitting there in the dark, snotting, crying. My breath, I'm looking at my breath, and I'm like, this shit sucks. It's so cold. I don't want this to happen anymore. And that's stress. It'll wake your ass up. I got actually a statistic here. I think I wrote it down. Hold on, y'all. And it has something to do with what I just said about this is why I write stuff down. I can't find it. No, yeah, here it goes. So research has shown that up to 70% of people experience a positive psychological growth from challenging times. So yeah, when I was in those challenging times, although I was, like stressing, it made me sit and think, I don't want this to happen anymore. What do I need to do? Because, winter's still in the process, at the time. And it makes you think, and it makes you grow. And so the next winter, I was able to get things like a generator. I was able to have a plan, and during the summer I worked on my winter plan, and so on. In the winter I worked on my summer, and I would just keep replenishing whatever I needed just in cases, right? So yeah, so although stress will help you to grow and learn, it's best when everything is cool and you're thinking straight, and when everything is okay. So now is a good time to prepare. So, yeah, those are really good reasons why you want to just make sure you have your basic necessities. So, have a plan, right? Make sure you have your basic necessities. Also, a good idea is to try to have support. Now, I understand if you live alone or you don't really have anybody that you want to go to, or if you're just, just secluded or whatever, there are online forums and groups that you can join. Um, Personally, even if you just have one friend that you can keep in touch and talk to and to check on you and you check on them, vice versa, that is really, really priceless. And I'll tell you what, something that is extremely important um, on this list, and this to me goes right with food and water and medicine and all of that. Um, your mental health, especially if you're alone, especially if you have to take care of somebody and people are depending on you, and animals too. Um, you're the one in charge and you're making sure that everything is that needs to be taken care of. That's a lot of pressure on you. And it takes a lot to go into all of that planning, but it also takes a lot of action at the time of, when all this stress is happening. You have to make sure that your head is right. And so, what I suggest is having a plan in place anyway, having a routine. My daily routine, as I know y'all probably are sick of hearing it, I do my breath work, breath retention. I do little journaling, and some days I don't do journaling. I miss a lot of days, I ain't gonna lie. But I make sure I do my breath work. I make sure I take my walk. I make sure I'm touching my toes and stretching. Making sure I'm getting outside. Even in the wintertime, you'll see me out here in my big old winter coat, making some videos, just getting out, getting grounded. Stuff like that may not seem important, but it is your mental health. Have some reading material. Have something that can expand your mind. Books. I got mad books. I used to work in a bookstore. I'll never get tired of reading. I got plenty of books to keep me going. I'm an artist. I have plenty of paper and pencils and paints, and I have my animals. Get an animal for real. If you don't have any person, get you an animal. They're perfect company. Known to lower your blood pressure just by sitting next to you, listening to them purr. Gosh, I'm trying to remember all of the things that I do, because sometimes it's the little things that really help. Keeping your mind active. Not only do I paint, I practice German. I've been practicing German on Duolingo now for like 3 years. And then I just been practicing German, period, because I like languages. And I did get to go to Germany back in, was it 2018? That was super cool. Anyway, starting to get off subject. Yeah, just prepare. Prepare now while you can, while things are good. Do what you can, whether it's when you go to the store, you get 3 cans of something, put 1 back or put 2 back. Maybe have a challenge with a friend and then you all could both help each other. But the thing is, do what you can now. Don't wait for somebody to come and save you. Save yourself, right? Do what you can. Put a little extra away because you might have to help somebody else, because you never know what might happen. And be good to yourself. Make sure, one more important thing, get you some snacks. I ain't playing. Get you some snacks. Get you some chocolate. Get you some cookies. Whatever you like to snack on, get you some, because that is part of that mental health care. Um, I get these little vegan Reese cups, and they're real small, so I can't just like devour. I could devour them, but I take these little teeny tiny bites and let it melt in my mouth, and that is such a treat. And when you're stressed out, something that small could be so big. So make sure you put snacks on your list. Okay, guys, I'm sorry this video was so long, but it's really, really helpful and informational. Um, Thanks for hanging out if you lasted this long. Bless your heart. I love you guys. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. And yeah, we'll see you next Friday. Peace out.